2 weeks ago, I believe. I participated in a Hemken speech competition. This took place in Orange County, California, and it was genuinely a really great experience. I participated in Group 3, and for this year's Hemken competition, the book for Group 3 was named Garland Around My Neck, the story of Jujhbir Singh of Pingalwada. It's written by Patwan Singh and also Lil. It was a great book, and it really gave me a new perspective on what I thought Seva was. So what I'm about to give you is my speech I gave at the actual Hemken competition. But before that, I actually wrote my speech in a slightly different manner. Instead of answering the 5 questions, which you can see on screen here, I first answered the first question normally, but then I wrote it into a story. This gave it like a personal perspective, because personally I think a speech shouldn't just be a bunch of words. It should be viewed something personal, a personal aspect, if you will. And I think the best way to do that is through a speech. So Saat Sangaji, this is a story of Pingalwada and Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji. Garland Around My Neck isn't just a title. It has a much deeper and a much darker story behind it. One that is rooted in sacrifice, humility, and selflessness. But why this title? Well, in 1934, Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji was entrusted with the care of a mute, of an abandoned and severely disabled child, whom he had named Bella. Bhagatji cared for him with deep love and carried him on his back for 14 long years. With Bella's arms resting around his neck, it symbolized a garland, a cherished but an honored one, worn with pride but never, ever a burden. This title not only describes Bella, but reveals the essence of Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji's soul, who transformed hardship into love and inspires us to ask ourselves, what kind of garland should we choose to wear in our lives? But wait, that begs the question. Who exactly is Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji? Well, Saat Sangaji, our story begins in 1904, in undivided Punjab during the time of British colonial rule. A boy named Ramji Das was just born. He would later be known as Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji. And he grew up in a time of extreme poverty, widespread illiteracy, and social injustice. In fact, his mother, Mehtabna, was a child widow, which revealed the harsh but the painful prejudice of that time. And society, well, it was divided by the caste system, and the disabled, but especially the mentally ill, were often neglected and abandoned to die. It didn't end there. The struggle for India's independence and its partition in 1947 left millions upon millions of people homeless, sick, and abandoned. Saat Sangaji, I'd like to ask you for a favor. I'd like you to imagine your family for a second. Just imagine that your family are forced out of your home and you have nowhere else to go. This truly was an atrocity, and Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji was none the fortunate, as soon he himself became a refugee. But his whole experience of loss, suffering, and pain deeply shaped Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji's life, and he gave birth to what we call today Pingalwada. But this begs another question. What exactly is Pingalwada, and was the journey easy for Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji? Well, Saat Sangaji, to understand this, we must look at what happened after the partition of India. After that partition, the time was of immense hardship. Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji had no money, he had no home, he had no support. Yet, he chose to dedicate his whole entire life, caring for the mentally ill, the homeless, and the abandoned. With nowhere else to go, Bhagaji took shelter on a roadside, on a footpath, or even under a tree. From there, he went door to door, humbly asking for food and for help. His rickshaw served as his ambulance. But people still mocked him. In fact, they called him mad. Yet his determination never, ever wavered. And although the Punjab government had allotted him some land, and the All India Pingalwada Society was officially registered, his financial struggle continued to haunt him for years to come. But Bhagat Jujhbir Singh Ji did not simply endure all these hardships. In fact, he rose above them. Through his unwavering devotion, through his tireless service, and through the growing support of the Sangha, this roadside shelter gradually transformed into a true home of hope and of dignity, called Pinnacle. Seva karta hoye ne kami, disko hoda prapt swami. Before meeting Pyara, Bhagat Pooran Singh Ji's life was marked by hardship, inner restlessness, and a deep moral search. After filling his matriculation exam, not once, but twice, his mother urged him to find a job. But on the advice of Harnam Singh, who was the head Granthi at Gurdwara Dera Sahib, he accepted Seva. And although he was doing Seva day through night, he still felt empty. He was longing for a true purpose. But everything changed when he met Vyara, a severely ill, a disabled, and an abandoned child who had no one, no hope or love. But Bhagaji, he gave him the love, the care, and the dignity that the world had denied him. This whole journey of compassion and devoted care transformed Bhagat Pooran Singh Ji's life. Through Vyara, he discovered his true purpose, to create a home of hope, of love, and of dignity for those whom the world had abandoned, just like Vyara. Satsandog Dyagamava Eh Karnisa is not just a verse from Gurbani. In fact, it is a whole story of Bhagat Pooran Singh Ji's life. And his journey taught me how to live a meaningful life through compassion, through humility, and through selfless service. I also learned that true compassion must never ever be selective. In fact, it must embrace all of creation, just like Bhagaji did for humans, for animals, for plants, and even for the environment. But this book also taught me that when you lift someone else up, you don't only change their life, but in fact, you change your own. But for this, you need courage to stand alone when no one else is standing with you. You need determination to walk when that road feels endless. But most importantly, you need faith to see light when everything around you feels dark. At this point, you don't freeze, you don't complain. In fact, you just rise, just like Bhagaji did. Sadh Sangaji, his life truly is a living example for all of us. And thank you, Sadh Sangaji, for walking this journey with me. Not just to hear Bhagaji's story, but in fact, to reflect on our own. Before I end my speech, I'd like to thank the Guru Gobind Singh Ji Foundation for helping me and giving me this opportunity to give my speech. And I'd also like to thank you, the Sadh Sangaji, for listening to my speech. It truly is an honor to perform in front of such a big crowd. And this opportunity doesn't come every day. So thank you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
So, how old are you, Jujhbir Singh?
15 saal.
15 saal. So, how long did it take for you to prepare the speech?
Well, for writing it, it took a few days, and then preparing it took around a month or so. Because basically in this competition, everything must be perfect, and you must have a perfect presentation. And it's like for a good, flowing, continuous speech.
Okay, so let's give a chikara to Jujhbir Singh. He received a silver medal. Bole so nihal. So now we have Jujhbir Singh, also his elder brother, who is actually going to be going to Imperial College, which is a very, very distinguished college in the whole of England. People apply and very few people get in. And he got into computer science and math program, which is the highest and most difficult program to get into. But the main thing is that he is devoted to Sikhi. He attended Camp Gurmat when he was 9 years old, in several years ago. And since then he attended twice. And he has been such a great inspiration. Actually, he also got accepted to many of the Ivy School colleges in the United States, but he chose to go into Imperial College, and he was interviewed by Oxford University. Oxford University, they which don't know, if you ever even want to get an interview, it is a hell of a job. I'm sorry to use the word hell, but it's a great, difficult task to even get an interview at a university like Oxford. So here is Jujhbir Singh, won the gold award.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ